all Bonami's family. Great supportive community, close-knit caring family. We're non-judgy, blanket fuzzy, stigma-free. All Bonami's family, friends, family, and community. We all Bonami's family. Teacher sharing is our key. Great big thanks to you all.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Stigma Stompers, the one and only NAMI of Erie County podcast. I am one of your hosts, Abbey.
And I'm your other host, Janana.
Today, we're continuing our conversation with homelessness and mental health. So we have two special guests with us today from the Mental Health Association. And yeah, we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hello. My name is Gregory Breeden. I'm a team leader at the Mental Health Association. I've been currently working there for 2 years, and that's who I am.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Theresa Abbey. I am the team leader for peer support. I am also a CPS, and I've been there almost 5 years now.
Awesome. Great. Thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Of course. Can you give a brief overview of the Mental Health Association of Northwestern Pennsylvania, MHA for short, and its focus on homelessness?
Yes, ma'am. We focus on helping adults over 18 who are on their mental health journey. At the heart of MHA is our Consumer Center. This is a welcoming place where adults can connect with others who share similar experiences. They can enjoy social activity, learn new things, and have fun in a safe and supportive environment. Some of the services that we do offer, we have lunch available at 11:30. We have activities such as computer lab and a pool table. We do provide a sleeping area during the daytime in our lower level. We do offer showers. We do have a cafe that we provide, warm drink and for the morning coffee. At times hot chocolate. We just have our doors open and for people that just needs safe havens and to get out of the elements during this rough winter.
So when it comes to homeless individuals, what are some of the unique challenges that they face when it comes to their mental health?
Some of the unique challenges that homeless individuals place, I would like to say though, unhoused is more the political correct term. But the lack of stable housing, the trauma and adverse childhood experiences are some of the challenges, stigma and discrimination as well. Just when people see people on the road and stuff, I often heard they're bums and things like that, and that's just childish to me, and it's elementary because like I said, that's somebody's child. That's somebody's brother, somebody's friend. And other challenges that I see that they may face is limited access resources. As far as when often in my experiences when I was experiencing homelessness or unhoused, a lot of it was I was in survival mode. I couldn't wrap my reality around trying to receive help because I was just trying to live day by day to get a hot meal, to stay warm and be out in the elements. So that's why I love about MHA, because it's a place that through the daytime we're able to give that safe havens, that to be warm or to get out of the hot sun, because Erie weather is a challenge at times. So with that said, we do have that we give them the capacity to be themselves and to have that space to give them the chance to reach out to services. And there's so many to share, but a unique one is a lady shared with me that she's been in and out of foster homes all her life, even when she was younger. She's been floated on different couches, and she's been out in Erie elements for the past 2 years, and this is one of the, since I've been here, it's been some rough winters. She got some good news that she just got housed and got her keys yesterday.
That's great.
Yeah.
And the thing for me is, it's so many people that need that extra support, whether that's learning basic living, because I have to be mindful sometimes, and it humbles me because I have to understand that not everyone may have grown up in an environment to become as successful as, or not even successful, but as prepared. So a lot of times, I guess people that I see or I share stories, people may have this expectation when it comes to some of the services that they may be in, and a lot of times, there's a lot of other factors that goes into funding and work ratio, people and clients, or people and members. That's far from what we do. We're not clinical, but it's more so, I commend people that come in every day and they're just wanting to just show up, and they're trying, because I've been in that circumstance, and a lot of times that I can't speak for other challenges, but a lot of my unique challenges is just having that opportunity to let me be me and let me figure it out, whether good, bad, or the ugly, because a lot of it it stems from, for me, was trauma, and I learned that we all have our dysfunction, whether some extreme than others, but we can understand trauma to extent. So I think a lot of the challenges was, for me, was more agencies, not, or behavioral health. It was kind of like just pushing through, just push through. Here's this, here's that. It wasn't really no, not compassion, but I get it now that I'm kind of in this position now, that the business of caring is hard, and I have more empathy on this side of being in this field, that we want to care so much, and we can see what needs to be done, but how can I speak to that individual so they have the power to get it done?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, for me, it's just meeting them where they at, and letting them know that, like, whatever it is, wherever you would like to do, it's on you. You have the power, and reassuring them that they're worth it. That's why we do try to have events for members and make moments, and because it's a family, it's a community, which they're not excluded from any community. I'm saying community is, they're part of our community. They're part of society. And yes, we have our own journeys and stories, our own life and stuff, but they do too, and a lot of it, we have fun. People may perceive that people experiencing homeless are I don't know. I've heard so many things, but that's not what I want to get into and share the light on. It's like, come hang with us. Come hang out and see what's going on. And the thing is, it may not be what social norms, but it's a community where we have fun no matter what challenges they may be facing. That's that's where, yeah, that's what we do, man. There was a funny thing that I shared. We're like the adjustables, you know, like the Incredibles.
Yes.
We're the adjustables. Because at the end of the day, it's like we adjust to whatever needs need to be met in that moment.
We do.
Sometimes it is tough love.
Yeah.
Me, I'm gonna keep it real, because one thing, and when I say real, it's basically I'm gonna be upfront, because a lot of times, you know, in my setting with clinicians and stuff, they have to have a certain level of professional speech.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that I've learned that you have to talk like they understand. So being in my experience, it may not always be cookies and sugar coating and things like that. It's really just meeting them where they at, so they understand too. And that may look different from person to person, you know. And that's where that's like our niche, because we're just gonna meet you where you at. Sometimes it is that supportive, nurturing, caring. Sometimes it's just tough love. And a lot of times it's respect. You know, I don't look at them no different than I look at you all. I make sure, you know, we make sure that we just have an environment. It's like, yeah, you could be yourself within means, you know, and within reason, you know. But I love that I've grown into this position. I started there as a cook. You know, I was just looking at opportunity. I was just released from prison myself. Out here doing volunteer work, service work. You know, looking for a door. You know, because a lot of unique challenges is not just people experiencing homelessness, but what comes with that, whether that's criminal history, whether that is substance abuse, whether that is the past that limits them to really have their full potential. And you know, we like to say that that's not us. You know, you are you. You're worth it. We see you, and we just try to make sure we have that environment that we can get you out the cold, get you fed, and be there for whatever you need. You know, you're in control.
Taking it back a step, MHA does wonderful work. I'm curious, how did you guys end up joining MHA? What made you want to participate and, you know, take the job opportunities and help out?
Okay, I guess I'll start. So along the lines of what Greg was saying, I myself was in prison at one point, and I had gotten released, and I was working at McDonald's, and I had a friend who was actually working at MHA, and she was doing the surveys for the county, because we have a CFST team there that does surveys for the county. And there was an opening that she had suggested that I apply for. So I did, and I got the position. And Bill Grove was overseeing MHA at the time. And we had an opportunity to take certified peer specialist at that time. So he said, why don't you go ahead and do that? And I did. And I took the class, and I started doing one night a week, going down and working with some women at the community house. And that's what started my career in doing this at MHA. And I did a few other things and left MHA, and now I'm back at MHA working there. So, you know, just doing recovery, and, you know, it's just been my, you know, just love it, 14 years, and I'm still going at it. You know, it's one of my favorite things, doing peer support.
I mean, for myself, it was still trying to find what direction, my passion, my purpose. I actually, as I said, I was just released for prison. I was trying to find my way. I was going to school while I was homeless at the ECC, Erie Community College, all these ECCs. So I actually was doing service at this church, and a guy was just sharing Pastor Cook. I was sharing my story with him, and he mentioned Antonio Howard. Didn't know that he was an advocate in the city at the time and stuff, but he gave me his number. He reached out to me. He's kind of just been a mentor since my release. So he mentioned he's on our board at the MHA. So he mentioned to me, he's like, man, I think the Mental Health Association would be a good place to start. And I'm like, you know what? I'm all for it. You know, at the time, I mean, I was going to school for IT, network administration. I got my CRS, certified recovery specialist. So I was just knocking on a lot of doors. I was getting a lot of rejections, you know. So when that opportunity came, I just ran with it. Like I said, I started cooking, making sure, giving them that hot, you know, comfort food. I'm from the South originally, so, you know, I got a hand in the kitchen just to get to know people, you know. I always believed that part of recovery is service work. You know, that was kind of my mission coming out as well. Prison. So once I got in the doors, you know, it just felt like home, and I felt like I found my purpose, because I always believed that like sometimes people want to know their worth, man. I'm always a big guy when like you're worth it no matter what obstacles is in your way. It's just really. And that's just me talking to myself at times, because I struggle with that as well. Like, you know, so it's just finding that courage, that compassion for myself, and give myself a chance, you know, to receive some opportunities. And 2 years later, here I am, you know, the team leader at the Mental Health Association, Northwestern PA. So. If we can do it, man, anybody can do it.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. It's amazing.
Are you able to talk to us more about being a certified peer specialist and like what all that entails and like your day-to-day tasks, things like that?
As in like the training and stuff?
The training or just like what you do in your job?
The training is a 75-hour course that you have to take. They've recently changed some regs and stuff, so you don't have to have like a GED, you know, when you go to get hired. And I guess it's per company, you know, their regulations. I'm not sure how that all works. My daily task as a team leader or as a certified peer specialist.
Whichever.
As a certified peer specialist, of course, you're going to have a caseload, and it just depends on whether the person's homeless or not homeless, because they, you know, a lot of the people that we do meet, they do have, you know, houses or apartments or whatever, but we do have some people that are homeless, and you can meet them anywhere in the community, wherever you want to meet with them, and it's just giving them that support, you know, depending, we do assessments to find out what it is that they want to work on, and then we build a recovery goal plan with them. And then we meet with them, usually weekly, sometimes twice a week, and we just work on that goal with them and give them that support, encouragement. We share that lived experience with them, you know, and they really like to know that firsthand experience, that we've already been through that. That really, you know, the light bulb goes off and they're like, oh, hey, you've done it. You know, we can do this too.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, and then we do just like a lot of like emails and lots of paperwork and phone calls and, you know, office stuff. And that kind of stuff. That's not the fun stuff. Talking to the peers is the fun stuff.
Of course. Nobody likes the paperwork side of stuff, that's
right,
for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like having that lived experience is so important for things like peer support, because I feel like anyone could lead a support group, but no one can lead it as effective as those who have lived it.
Right.
So I love that.
Yes.
No, I agree. So you both have emphasized a lot on, you know, how important support is to the individuals that you serve. I have a question of, you know, do you have any personal experiences or stories that you are able to share where that support you have provided has made a difference in someone's life or an impactful situation?
And you can leave it anonymous,
Yeah,
obviously.
you don't have to, of course, give any personal information.
Yes, I can share. I was working with a woman. She had become homeless, struggled with mental health, drug and alcohol issues. She felt alone. She was hopeless. She was reluctant to participate in services because she had fear of judgment, rejectment and stuff.
That's a stigma.
Yeah. She came from a good family. She couldn't believe that she was in this type of a position at that time. I met with her. I shared my story of how I had overcome my own homeless, position and stuff, and challenges that I had with mental health, and how I had gone through everything, which direction I went, found comfort in my community. And I told her the story about how I actually, when I was in prison, there was a peer support there, and how she gave me hope and inspiration. And that set me in the right direction of where I wanted to go.
That's great.
So we connected right away. We made a plan. We set goals. We started working together once a week. She got a job after that. She had a baby. She's still sober to this day. I still see her from afar. And she's doing well. And every once in a while I do run into her in person, and she will say hi to me. And we belong to some of the same community groups too as well. So she's doing wonderful now. So those are those stories that makes me keep going in this job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's really great.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for her.
It's amazing. If you're listening, congratulations. That's amazing work.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing that.
yeah, no problem.
Do you have any stories?
I have so many, and it's
It's hard to decide, right?
it's different for me. We're kind of like yin and yang in the center. I would say she's able to be more formal, more, take your time. I'm like I deal with maybe 100 or so plus that comes out in and out of the center. So I get bits and pieces of people's stories, and a lot of times people may think that we deal with people that are just experiencing homelessness, and that's not the case. We have people that are housed, and the numbers say we do about half and half. They're in shelters as well. Now the ones maybe experiencing the element, maybe living in the elements, surprisingly sometimes that's by choice. I've heard, that's what they enjoy, that's what they do. So a story I just mentioned a while back, a person, they were experiencing homeless for the past couple of years in the elements, and a lot of times with programs it's a patient game, it's a waiting game. That's what I often hear is, I'm on the list, I'm just waiting, but when what keeps me going is when they do come to me, go ahead, or they call me Red sometimes. I try to keep it professional, like, hey, it's Greg, but I got my keys, and they just light up, and it's like, man, it's so deserving, they deserve it, and we hear that more often now, that people, and it makes me proud too, because it's like, they often come and say, man, I don't know what we'll do without y'all, and they're very appreciative, and they're very kind, they're funny, and I'm speaking on my members, I'm not saying they as people experiencing homeless, just want to be correct. Like a lot of our members, they're smart. Some blow my mind with some of the things that even come out their mouth. And I'm like, man, and I think sometimes it's like capturing that potential in them and saying, hey, I see it, what can we do, and So I mean, we had families grow out of the center, with pregnant women, pregnancy, and I like to emphasize some of that, but also on the other end, we do have deaths. That's where sometimes we've not forget about, but people that pass along in the elements, through the circumstances, and then sometimes it's not of their doing, and that's when my frustration lies. It's like there shouldn't be no cap of money in the world to be like somebody passing away in the elements and they didn't have safe havens, whether that's wherever may other factors happen, that should never happen, but the good, the bad, and the ugly is those moments when people are coming from out of state at times hear about us, young and just lost and don't know what direction to go, but they heard about MHA, and that makes me proud,
That's great.
It's like, yeah. So, that's more so of our success stories, but I always want to emphasize there is the other side of it as well. That's challenging when we've luckily there's a person that was sleeping outside in this elements and was waiting, and she was right there, just trying to be more discreet, but it was sad every day driving past work, driving to work every morning, and I see that person, and it's like, I check in, hey, what's going on, like what's the next step, and it's that waiting game and stuff, and I'm like, man, sometimes it's just shocking to me sometimes. But on the flip side, luckily, they were able to get housed before this winter really came and shocked me. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. We appreciate it. I do have a quick question. I know there might be a common misconception about becoming a member of MHA. Do either of you mind explaining just what the process is like to become a member, what it entails to be a member? If you can just go over that briefly.
So to become a member, we just need a photo ID. It doesn't have to be valid. And we need proof of past or present mental health services. Usually what I usually suggest is that if you go to your pharmacy and get a medication list, and we're able to see medication that's pertaining to your mental health, we'll be able to use that as well. We also mental health services, if you receive from stairways, anything behavioral, we're able to take those documents as well. At times, we've taken other agencies' photo ID. Sometimes there's intakes that they take pictures with their name, and from other agencies we're able to take that. And the thing is, we're more open to people that's just experiencing mental health as well, as far as that's where I would like to direct, is that it doesn't have to be people experiencing homelessness, because it'd be like more so me directing, like you all can become a member.
Okay.
I'm a member.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not because I think that's where a lot of people.
That's a misconception.
Yeah, misconception. Yeah, that
I think a lot of people think that we're a mental health place
As well.
because I get a lot of phone calls saying I need therapy services.
Assessment.
So do we,
or
yeah.
assessment,
I
yeah.
get the same.
You know, and I have to explain to them that no, that's not what we are.
Right.
You know,
Right. So that's usually the tough. Yeah.
that's the tough part of it, trying to explain exactly
They
what
come
we
in.
are.
I need a mental health assessment.
Or the hospital will drop some people off
Yeah.
right in front of the door.
Yeah.
You know, after they get out of
Right.
the
Just
mental
drop
health
them
unit
off.
Really?
or something.
Or police
Yeah, we've
or the
had people-
prison.
We've had people
They
do
drop.
that.
That's insane.
We
Wow.
got people from Mill Creek get dropped off. Prison just dropped off.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Out different out of town
Town people, yep.
Yeah. Just drop them off.
Wow.
Oh, gee.
I did
Oh,
not
we heard
know
we
that.
could get help here.
Yeah.
Oh, my
We're like,
goodness.
oh, you're kind of in the wrong place.
Uh-huh.
But
You
we
kinda
help
in the
those
right-
people.
Yeah,
We're
you
in
kinda
the
in
right
the-
place.
Yeah.
The
Right.
right wrong place. You know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like we're kind of like the hub of service, not the hub to point you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we wear many hats. We have a lot of resources
Mm-hmm.
available to get them to the right services. You know, so yeah, that was in. I'll wait till the next question.
Yeah.
I want to get more into like the peer support services. Okay, what does peer support mean to you, and why is it so impactful for those experiencing homelessness?
Peer support means to me that there are others that can aid people like me because of that shared lived experience that we have, such as being homeless before or having some form of mental health issue or drug and alcohol issue, and can now help guide me with encouragement or advocate for me or connect me to a resource. Peers know firsthand the struggles of homelessness, and this can build trust and relatability with other people. Peers will feel more comfortable opening up to someone who knows that they get it. Homelessness can carry a big stigma. Peer support can normalize this experience so that individuals know that they're not alone, they're not broken. You know, it just makes the person feel better when, like, hey, you know, this person really does know where I'm coming from. You know, so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank you. Let's see. So from your perspective, how can peer support help address stigma and mistrust around mental health treatment in the community?
So breaking down the stigma, CPSs share their experiences openly about their mental health challenges with peers in a normal conversation, and this shows that it's part of the human experience. Like our stories will help show individuals that they're resilient and capable of recovery. Trust between CPS and a peer can relate to the fear and skepticism that others feel because we've all felt that often. CPSs can help others access care by explaining or advocating the process of finding different resources in the community. CPSs we're non-judgmental, and we at MHA provide a safe place where individuals can express themselves without feeling judged. You know.
Yeah, definitely. How do you, as a peer supporter, encourage individuals to seek help when they may feel hopeless or skeptical?
As a CPS, we try to meet the individual where they're at. We gently guide them towards the possibility of change, and we do that by being open with like our own story, the struggles, and we try to understand their skepticism or their despair. We reassure them that their feelings are valid and common. We focus on little steps at a time, just by having like a conversation, a simple conversation with them. We remind them that even though it may not seem like it, but taking action, things will get better and lead to a future that they can envision. Accompanying them to like appointments or connecting them to others, introducing peer-led support, like a peer-led support group that they could go to, connecting them with others that have faced similar challenges, being a bridge to that professional help. some people may just be afraid to go in and sit with their psychiatrist and ask them a question. They have that fear. I've done that. I've gone in with somebody and just prompted them, and that opened up that whole conversation between the two of them. And they were happy when they left that appointment. They just get comfortable in that professional care in that setting. So it's just all about encouraging that person to seek help, not forcing the change. So CPS builds that trust, offers hope, and empowers the individual to take steps towards recovery.
I feel like a lot of recovery is like you can lead the horse to water, you can't make it drink.
Right.
So like you can support them and be there for them as much as humanly possible, but you can't force them to do anything. They have to want to do it.
Absolutely.
So I think that's important.
Yep.
So I like
That's
that.
very true. So, what do you think is the most important resource needed to help individuals overcome homelessness and improve their mental health?
Community. Community, I think. Having a CPS.
Exactly.
Not to toot my own horn, but
No, it's
No, of
important.
course, yeah.
It's
I
really
think-
important.
I think they're important. Having somebody in your corner, I think, to be there to listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they have like no one else, they would have their CPS.
Right.
So you're definitely important. How does MHA collaborate with other organizations to support the homeless or those struggling with their mental health?
So we do work with UPMC to provide like their medical needs. She's amongst, her name is Sarah. She wears a lot of hats. She does amazing work there. They provide food at times. She helps with their medications and things like that, because for us, we're not like clinical or anything. We just have life experience, shared life experiences. We do work with Aetna Insurance. They come in at times because, I mean, we have a diverse community. Some elderly, 65 and above. So we have people to come in and speak with them how they can best assist them with their medical information. We do also have central outreach that comes in monthly to do testing. We work with other agencies that want to come in and just share their resources. We've had White Deer Run, I believe, or White Pine come in and share what they offer. We have multiple agencies that come in and share what they offer and resources, because a lot of times, people don't know, that is out there. So we do have Kind Veg that comes monthly and donates some produce. We have Food Rescue that comes roughly every week and donates food on top of what we provide as well. So
The phone people come in.
often, for government assistant phones as well. We've had so it says, how does MHA support the homeless? I mean, just to provide them resources and let them know that they're there and they're available.
Yeah, wonderful. What are some goals that MHA has to improving or expanding their services? It can be in the near future or further along the lines.
I know some of the goals are to expand our days. So we often do Monday through Friday right now. So hopefully we can get the weekends open. We do have volunteers, hopefully that will be able to assist us with that. With me, expanding services, I mean, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit with us. That's a good question. Probably should have asked I don't want to say too much, right? And
Right.
Hey, that's okay.
Yes.
Sometimes some plans can't be spoken about yet. We
Yes.
understand,
Too
of
much.
course. Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Everyone can follow along on like your socials and stuff if they want
Yes.
updates. Speaking of, can you tell everyone like where to find all your information, your website, any socials you have, any platform that they can subscribe to, I guess?
Yeah, so we do have Facebook, the Mental Health Association of Northwestern PA. Our website is mhanp.org. There you can find calendars, apply, other resources available in the community,
Lunch menu,
lunch, yeah, all that good stuff.
how to find CPS stuff.
CPS information, all about us, our mission, our vision, our values. Yeah, check us out.
Awesome. Thank you. Before we close, I want to give you guys the opportunity to, for those listening who might be struggling, and of course our podcast is all about that stigma. As we know, mental health, it's still something that a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking about. So our biggest point is to encourage people to be able to seek that help that they need. So for those listening who might be hesitant and not know where to go, what to do, or they're afraid of what others might say, what advice do you have for those listening?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go first. I don't know. I guess the only advice I have is, I don't know, just don't be afraid to ask for help. Talk to somebody. Small steps can lead to meaningful challenges. You don't have to do this alone. There are people out there that care about you and want to walk alongside you in this journey. Take things one day at a time. Each step can bring you closer to a better future. You deserve to live a life filled with safety, hope, and dignity. And the power of peer support, I can't say, from my heart. I had my own peer support, like I said, and it helped me immensely. It helped me build those connections, understand my mental illness, connect me with mental health and drug and alcohol, and I was moving towards what I wanted rather than away from what I didn't want. So that's the biggest thing for me.
Ooh, you said it all.
I love that.
Thank you.
I think the biggest thing is for the community to collaborate more, and to take the time and maybe just volunteer and just get to know individuals, because they're individuals, they're humans, we all humans, I don't, and to get away from the stigma. I mean, people with mental health needs, I mean, that's everybody, and if you want to sum it up, and just to have more compassion, because that is somebody's child. That was somebody's mother. That is somebody's father.
Yeah.
Just because they might not be meeting the norm of what we would like for them doesn't mean that they're not happy at the same time. So that's kind of where I always try to humble myself, and it's like that was me, but at the same time, there's been a place that I was like, that would never be me, and it can happen overnight,
Yep.
and that's where I would like to, share too, real quick, that some people that are experiencing homelessness doesn't mean they're all actively using. There's a lot of stories that come in that they're dealing with domestic violence, that they're just circumstances. Bills need to be paid. People lose their jobs. People have gaps in their Social Security or disability and stuff. I mean, I can say that majority, those are the cases not actively using. So that's my spill, and they're worth it. You're worth it. If you're out there, and you just need a safe place, fun place. It get a little hectic sometimes. That's that's just life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, come check us out at we're on 1101 Peach Street, and come in and just hang out, you know. And that's what I would let the community do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just come by and just volunteer, serve food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we always need clothing. Men's clothing is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of Erie's population that's experiencing homeless are men too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Reach out to your local representative.
Yeah.
And to advocate for like funding or
funding. Yeah.
support policy changes, participate in campaigns, or
Yeah.
where we need donations of like hygiene kits, transportation vouchers, anything that can reduce a barrier
Yeah.
for our members. Technology like
Right.
old laptops, phones, partner some with other organizations or promote trainings for employment opportunities for people. You know, any of that stuff can help us.
Yeah.
You know, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really great to know.
Of course, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that.
I have. What are your hours?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't.
So currently,
I forgot
right
to
now,
ask
we're
that.
open to 8 to 4. On Wednesdays we do open a little later, but due to the circumstances, like I said, I'm there at 7:00. If and it's cold like that, I'll open the doors. But our scheduled hours are 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. Wednesday 9 to 4. So, but like I said, if due to the weather circumstance, we open the door as early as possible.
Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciated it. We learned a lot today. So thank you for sharing those stories, and we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
So, yeah. And thank you for listening.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Stigma Stompers Podcast. We truly appreciate all your support.
If you want to see more about what we do in our community, make sure you check out our website. It's namierie.org. Make sure you also click on our t-shirt store tab so you can buy a t-shirt. We get a portion of all the proceeds. And make sure you sign up for our newsletter. It has all of our programming and event updates.
Another way you can get involved is if you feel comfortable sharing your personal story. You can email us at info@namierie.org, or you can give us a call at 814-456-1773.
Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.